Hello, wonderful people. Good to see you. Okay, I'm pretty much done with that piece, and I've got a little bit sick. And while I'm recovering, I decided to not to jump on the next piece, which is supposed to be columns. Okay, I'm sorry, I was just looking at the computer and just checking how many people right there. Just to say hello and just introduce where you're from, Rustam. Good to see you. Добрый день, Rustam. Okay. Okay, wonderful. So let me continue to work, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about something what I really worry about. Not worry about, but it's something just coming up pretty much all the time. Okay. It's something that comes up pretty much all the time. Roy, good to see you. Good afternoon. So I spoke with my mother on July 4th. Okay. By the way, just for you to know, July 4th is my birthday. All right. So it just happened. And we spoke on the phone with my mother, and she's still in Russia. She's still in Russia, and she doesn't want to move to United States. And she takes care of, you're not gonna believe, she takes care of my grandmother. Yes, and my grandmother's still alive. My grandmother's still alive. She's almost 100 years old. 96 to be exact this year. And my mother takes care of my grandmother. And can you imagine that I am a grandfather myself? I've got a 3 years old granddaughter, and I still have grandmother alive. So we're talking about fourth generation, all right? Fourth generation, which is a big blessing, according to the book, I believe, to see children to a fourth generation. So it's a big blessing. So, and the point what I want to tell you, she is almost 100 years old. She's eats well, sleeps well, but there's a big problem. There is a big problem. And the problem what she has, she can't remember nothing. She has dementia. Okay, Salsa, good to see you. Ignacio, good to see you. So stop spamming, guys, okay? It's on a Twitch. Somebody for Twitch just, But anyway, I'm gonna remove that comment. But the problem with my grandmother, and I love with all of my heart my grandmother, but she doesn't remember anybody, okay? She doesn't remember grandchildren. She doesn't remember even children. She had 3 daughters, 2 still alive, my mother and my aunt. So 2 daughters still alive, but she can't recognize them. And that's a big problem. It's a really huge problem. And like a couple days ago, I was watching YouTube video and statistics of a new generation, especially in the Western world, not really good, okay? So young people probably like 1 of 2 chances gonna get some kind of memory loss, and that is not really good. I don't like that. I just imagine myself when I'm gonna be 90 or whatever, if I'm gonna live till 90 years old. I want to live till 120 and still climb the mountain like Moses did, but who knows, okay? So who knows if I'm gonna live that long. but I really would love to, if it's going to be long life, I really want to make sure it's alive. It's not just a slow dying. Okay, that is one of the main things what I uh, will try to prevent. I'll take care of my memory and my brains, my cells, neurons, and keep them moving. Okay, I just imagine. I just imagine. You probably already know that if my grandmother, and I do have a grandchild, and she's already like 4 generations, and if I look back to my great great grandfather, and he was a famous woodworker working in palaces in St. Petersburg, building furniture for the royal families, for the royal family, not families. And if if I would, I mean, if he would live so long like my grandmother, I could probably ask him a question: how is it, to work before revolution in Russia, uh, working for those people? But nowadays, I do work for the kind of famous people and royalty, if you wish. You can call those people royal people of nowadays. But still, that would be really interesting. So, what I'm trying to say, I really want to live long, but not only long. I don't want to live just long. I want to live my life, not dying slowly. Okay, I don't really want to lose my memory, and I really want to make sure my brain still works when I'm older. And yes, I mean, I mentioned that multiple times, that I strongly believe. So you really have to use your brains, stimulate your brains. And when you're stimulating your brains, when you're doing it, there's different ways, of course, you can do that. One of the ways, you can read books. I read books all the time. And when you're reading, you're using, how they call it, linear process of your brain. It's not like watching movie when you see everything at once, all the colors, all the sounds, all the whatever the scene is, you see everything at the same time. So it's just like, covered with a dome. Your brain works differently. But when you read, when you take, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you take any type of book and you start reading it, okay, so you start, just visualize all the smells, all the scenery, all the movements. There's the different parts of your brain involved, and it keeps your brain alive. That's why I read every day. Besides what I love to carve, but I think it's one of the things, at least what I can do, just to prevent that dementia. But on another hand, I'm a wood carver. And I love carving, and I also trying to find some research articles and some books about neurology, and so on. Not only that, I love to read everything, but I found one of the articles really interesting, and that is about the art, okay, and how it actually helps to prevent the dementia. Let me try to find it, and I'll show it to you. I'll open my iPad and I'll read it to you. All right. So that is one of the articles, How Art Therapy Can Help Fight Dementia by Ashley Manner, Memory Care. And I mean, you can read the whole thing, but what I like, the idea that art, stimulates your brain. Okay. So that's right there. Okay, it stimulates your brain. Let me highlight that. But also what I like about what it says, so it's pretty much exposure to art, both human and creation, has been found to be a powerful way to enhance brain waves, particularly for people with the early stage of Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so what I'm trying to communicate today, I'm not making that stuff up when I mention that art, and particularly in my case, I consider what I'm doing, it's actually in art. Of course it's in art, okay? So of course that whatever you carve, it is part of a art, world of art, if you wish to call it that way. I mean, that particular piece is a Venetian style, and I'm making that for a customer, but it's still an art. And what I like, what I just read, exposure to art, when you looking at the art, it's one thing. When you creating art, when you whatever type of art you work with, okay, so if you take let's say fine art and take brushes and some colors, just even creation of it, it stimulates the parts of the brain you usually don't use when you don't do the artistic work. So, but there's a big difference when you're working with two-dimensional piece of art. Let's say if you take a canvas and three-dimensional art, yes, what art will stimulate a lot more neurons in your brain. By the way, uh, uh, I'm getting sometimes phone calls from members of my school, School of Woodcarving.com, and really amazing. Some of those people, older people, and I feel like I'm youngest, kid on the block in my school, in my own school. And I spoke with one person, and I asked how old is he, and he said he's just like 90 years old, which is close to my grandmother's age, like plus minus. Like I said, my grandmother, she's 96 this year. But my point is, and I asked the guy, I mean, are you still carving at the age of 90? And some of them, yes, do, and some of them don't. And one of the guys, he said, no, I'm not. And I said, why are you a member of my school? Why you didn't cancel it? And he said, it's not just about the carving process. It's about watching, when he said, when you work and I'm watching how you do the stuff, and I could hear all the cuts, all the sounds, it just like feels like I'm carving myself. And there is such a thing as, I believe it's 1956, one of the universities, they discovered, they tried to work with the monkeys, and monkeys and bananas and so on. Okay, I'm not going to tell you all the history of that, but the story goes like this. One monkey would reach the banana, and another monkey would just watch how another monkey would reach the banana. And what happened in the brain, they studied the brain, the same experience. Okay, the monkey who just watched, they had exactly the same neurons working inside of the brain, and they call that as a mirror neurons. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a brain doctor, but since 1956, it's a known fact. When you just watching that someone is actually working on a piece, when you're just watching, and if you can hear it, if you can see it, so you're pretty much experiencing the same phenomena when your brain stimulated, and there's a mirror neurons. It happens something on the level of the brains, which means in today's context, wood carving actually fights dementia, fights Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so I think it's a good point. Even if you're not carving, if even if you're not working on the piece itself, but by watching others do that, you still stimulate your brain. It's still active. It still triggers those mirror neurons. Okay, so which is I think it's a good thing. So to make it short, when you carve yourself, or even if you just watch somebody else carving and you hear it, you see it, it's exposure to that piece of art. It actually helps you to fight dementia if it's in the early stage. It's not 100% guarantee. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was teaching in Camden. In the Camden, it's Williams Brown workshop. Let me show that to you just a second, okay? The website. All right. So it's actually main coast workshop.com, and William Brown, he is a host, and that was the school. And I mentioned that idea that really one of the ways you can fight memory loss is wood carving. And one of the ladies, the lady that took a class, she started to cry, and I didn't know what was going on. Okay, I mean, she was really emotional and so on. There's different people and so on. But later on, when I mentioned that one more time, let me turn this off. When I mentioned one more time, so about the dementia and wood carving, how wood carving prevents, memory loss and so on. She showed me a gouge. Okay, she took just one of the gouges, and she said that was a gift from a master wood carver, and he died from dementia. See, what I was reading about dementia and memory loss, it's not guarantee. But on another hand, at least you can do something. At least it's going to give you a better chance not to lose your memory, stimulate that, and so on. So like I said, one thing what I do, I just read all the time. Okay, I read all the time, and you're probably not going to believe. I mean, old books, new books. This is the old book. Okay, it's not available. I don't think it's available anywhere. It's about Milton Gibbons' book. The old 1950s something. Okay, reading is the one thing, and I'm not reading only about wood carving. Of course, I'm reading all kinds of stuff. But the second, exposure to art, like I showed you previously. Let me show that again. Okay, right here. Okay, take a look. Art stimulates brain. Exposure to art, both viewing and if you creating your art, it's actually has been found to be a powerful way to enhance brain waves. So which means a lot less chance to get dementia. Okay, I hope it makes sense. And I apologize when I'm looking at different directions. I'm just looking at the screen and so on. Okay, let me read a couple questions. Looks like some of the people listening and some of the people just communicating. Ron, memory loss is terrible for the person and the family. Sad to hear this. Do you have a bucket list yet? I'm not sure what do you mean by that. Okay. Goose is saying, thank you for book recommendation last week. They will help keep the mind active. Oh, absolutely. Well, those books actually gonna not only stimulate, your brain's gonna boil, right? So those books, they really, 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 really uh, gonna boil your brains. So those books I just mentioned last week, they are university program books. It's just like signing up for the university course again. It's not just university, by the way. One of the books I showed you last week, it was for the PhD program. Okay, Power of Limits. So that is for the PhD program book. It's kind of beyond what 99% of the people are gonna read, but it's a still good book. Okay, let me read. Surely, yes, when I'm carving, I have to visualize what I'm doing and what I'm about to do. It is wonderful brain challenge. Absolutely. Oh, I see. Ron is saying bucket list is the list of things you really want to do before you die. Well, that is an excellent way to say that. I have a semi truck of ideas, not just a bucket. I would love to do. I just don't have time. That's the only thing I wish I have a lot more time. What I want to do before I die. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it all depends what part of life you're asking. Yes, there's even books about it. Okay, so the 5 things you know you don't want to regret before you die. And one of the things, if it's going to be in the context of wood carving, I have lots of different ideas what I would love to do. I just don't have time to do that. Most of my work is for clients, which is not always helpful. And maybe I gonna take a little break. Although I'm getting all the time emails and different people asking me to do something, but maybe I'm gonna take a little break time and create some my own expression, my own ideas. I've got really lots of different ideas what I want to do, but to do that I have to support myself only by school. Okay, schoolofwoodcarving.com, only by school and teaching, traveling, and so on. Okay, maybe yes, I have lots of different ideas just related to the wood carving, a lot. Okay, as far as other things, I've got on my phone, okay, I've got like 11,000 books, and most of them I still didn't read, although I read every day, every morning, every night. I read a lot, and I read fast, and I read in multiple languages. One of them, of course, English, and the second one is Russian. But I read more than that, okay, because it just gives me better idea when it's written in original language, so I can see that. All right. So hope it answers. I do apologize for how I sound today. I'm kind of a little sick, but I'm getting ready for the next week. I'm gonna be teaching in Mark Adams School of Woodworking. Now it's actually not Mark Adams School of Woodworking. They renamed that. Mark renamed that. He sent me the new name. It's Mark Adams School of Woodworking and Timeless Crafts, something like that, because they teach right now not only stuff related to wood carving, they teach right now even how to make a chocolate. Okay, the bronze, working with the bronze, I mean with metals and so on. They teach just the drawing. So excellent program what they have. So I'm gonna be in Mark Adams next week. I'm gonna teach 2 classes. It's gonna be, one of them is gonna be classical wood carving, and another one is gonna be a furniture. I'm not sure if it's available. Usually it sells out really quickly. But if you want to get on board with me next week, just to check, just to call Mark Adams School of Woodworking, or just to go on the link and just to check. But I would probably call them and figure out. Sometimes website shows one thing, and when you call, maybe there's going to be something available. So markadams.com. Let me clear that. By the way, next year I'm gonna have a couple classes in state of Maine, beautiful state of Maine. That's Camden, one of the most beautiful places I ever been on the planet Earth, and I've been in multiple places, of course. Gorgeous. Watch a couple days ago I posted the video about the class we did. It's a really small school, but the host, William Brown, he's actually a famous woodworker, and he builds period furniture himself. He's got just a few benches right on side of his house. It's just feels like home. Okay, we became like friends. So next year gonna be 2 times, but you have to communicate with him right now, because there's a few spots already taken. People already emailing him and calling him and sending him deposits for the next year. And like I said, the school is small and the spaces are limited. I also gonna be in Tampa. Next year. This year we didn't schedule anything because I really have to work on finish this project. I also canceled one of the schools which I supposed to teach in August. I had to cancel it. Reason why? Because I'm way behind, and I had to cancel it. So no more. Besides the Mark Adams School, I'm not gonna go this year anywhere else. Just can't, right? So, but next year, School of Woodwork. Also, make sure you communicate with Kate. Kate is a founder. She's the owner of that school. Beautiful place in Tampa. If you don't like cold weather, it's gonna be at the end of October next year, beginning of November. I'm gonna teach a class right there. So just communicate. By the way, if you have a Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest, just to follow me, okay? Follow me on those platforms, right? So let me clear it, and I'll read a couple more questions. Mehmet, watching you is inspiring and gives new ideas. You're doing amazing work. Many thanks to the information you shared. Oh, no problem, absolutely. Clarissa, steady work is good and healthy, but little breaks for reflection fits creativity and is good for your soul. It'll be good if you can carve out little time for yourself. Oh, I know. I mean, I'm all the way for it. But I live in a 21st century, and in 21st century there is such a thing as deadlines. Okay, just go, get it done by the certain date. Although I know on this piece I already missed all of my deadlines. So because it is what it is. It's a wood carving. It's the same 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, same time, same tools which you're using, same setup. So really, there's no way to expedite if you want to create something nice. Okay, if you want to create something nice, of course. I mean, there's a CNC wood carving taking place right now. You can say it's a new way of carving. But CNC is still limited, okay? CNC is still limited, okay? Alex, I really love and appreciate the more beautiful work. Reminds me of Glenn Gibbons. I'm a portrait and human head sculptor in wood. Great. I love sculpture, by the way, and yes, I do some work with the flowers and so on. I love flowers, okay? I do, because it's the most complicated stuff. Even like I showed in one of the live videos, I think even in the last one. For example, this project we did at Mark Adams School just this April, okay? And that was a 1 week class, only 1 week class. Of course, I mean, you could take it to the extreme, but for 1 week, I think it's for 1 week, it's a really good project. And some of the people never touch the tool. But you can see I love flowers. Even when I'm teaching some of the classes, I really like it. Oh, by the way, next year in Mark Adams, I'm going to teach multiple classes. It's going to be 5 classes. One of them is going to be Grill and Gibbons. Okay, if you're interested in a Grill and Gibbons style, so you probably have to communicate with those people. Okay, let me read the comment. Is there anywhere our school that can further me? Europe is not the problem. We just don't know where. Florence, places. Okay, I've just lost that. But anyway, if you're talking about the schools in Europe, like I don't think there's any schools left in Europe who would teach Grill and Gibbons style. Okay, there is one school in Austria, really great school, but they don't teach you that. Okay, they don't teach you. But I do teach online in my school, schoolofwoodcarving.com. I do teach how to carve flowers. Okay, let me even find some of the projects what we've done in my school. Schoolofwoodcarving.com. Let me find it. So we've done similar flowers like that. Okay, one of the projects was like that. Let me even maybe I'll be able to find it. I don't know. But if you're part of my school, so you can actually do really complicated stuff. Really complicated stuff. I don't know. It's just frozen on me. It's just frozen on me. My apologies. I'm not sure what you see. And I hope the memory of my computer still handles it's fine. Can you see me fine? I mean, any picture quality loss or anything? Clarissa, I'm sure you're always working toward the deadline. I understand you're on a high demand because everyone recognizes your gift and commissions your work is beautiful. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate your comment. Okay, wonderful. I'm not sure, just something happened with my computer and it just did not handle really well one of the pictures. But let me try one more time. Let's say if you are part of my school, a flower like that is going to be available in one of the projects. Okay, so it's a little smaller than that, but something like that. Okay, so now don't forget, please, to follow me and give me, please, some likes. Okay, some love. Okay, so really important. If you're watching me on Facebook or Twitch or Twitter, it's better to go to my YouTube channel, which is easy. It's youtube.com/Grabovetskiy. All right, again, follow me. It's a woodcarver Grabovetskiy on Facebook and Instagram. Just to follow me. All right, let me go back and read some more. But anyway, so the point of today's stream, video, what I tried to communicate, wood carving is an art. And art, it's one of the ways you can stimulate your memory. And if you stimulate your brains, you prevent dementia, okay? And it's not only when you're carving yourself, when you're creating piece of art, but it's also by watching. There is such a thing as mirror neurons, okay? Thank you very much, wonderful people. I still have to work. I'm gonna clean, and also getting ready for the next week for the Mark Adams School. And I'll catch you again. If you want to shake my hand in person, it's different, okay? It's absolutely different. When we just get together in the same room, we become like a family, okay? So just to go on those websites, Mark Adams' website, our main host workshop, our schoolofwoodwork.com, Tampa, and reserve your spots. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you soon. Next week, I'm not probably going to do any live. I don't know, unless if I'm going to be able to somehow hook up my camera and just get from India. But there's no good internet, okay? So the internet connection is not too good, okay? Have a good one. Thank you very much, people. I'm gonna carve for a couple minutes and I'll shut this thing.